Now to Kaduna State, where the kidnapped Emir of Kajuru, Hassan Adamu, has regained his freedom. Authorities confirmed this to journalists on Monday. Earlier, the abductors demanded 200 million naira ransom, but it cannot be confirmed whether the money was paid for his release. The Emir was released at about 5 p.m. today after spending the night in the custody of the bandit. However, the other 13 members of his family are still in captivity. While confirming his release, the spokesman of the Kajuru Emirate Council, Kajuru Abductors, says the Emir was released at an undisclosed location within Kajuru local government area and in good condition. The monarch was kidnapped by bandits in the wee hours of Sunday along with 13 of his family members, including 2 grandchildren. TVC News Correspondent in Kaduna State, Luper Asom, who has been monitoring developments, joins me for more on this. Luper, what more do we know about the kidnap and release of the Emir of Kajuru?
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me. What we do know now is that the Emir has been taken to a health facility where he will be undergoing medical examination. He was brought back around 5 p.m. this evening and he was dropped at an undisclosed location. Actually, we spoke with they weren't willing to talk about the conditions relating to his release, but then they just said the Emir is back and he's in very good condition. He has now been taken to a health facility where he will be undergoing medical examination.
We understand the Emir was kidnapped alongside 13 other members of his family. What do we know about the state of those 13 other people? Have they also regained freedom?
Well, we spoke with one of the kingmakers of the Emirate Council. He said, for now, it's only the Emir who is back. 13 members of his family are still held captive. And it's so sad that a 1-year-old child is among these 13 people who are being held captive. One of the troubling things for these people was the age of the Emir. The Emir is 85 years and he was in the hands of these bandits in the bush. So people were worried, but then as of now, we know that the Emir has gained his freedom, but then 13 members of his family are still held captive by the bandits.
All right, we understand the level of respect that a traditional ruler such as the Emir commands in a society like ours in Nigeria. And for him to be picked up in spite of security that should be available to him and his household is actually bewildering. How are residents of Kajuru especially and Kaduna in general reacting to this development?
Well, I must tell you, everyone was shocked. We visited the place and you could see from their faces that the whole thing is strange. Of course, we have been receiving news of abductions and killings from Kajuru. Kajuru is one of the most troubled communities. A lot of people have been abducted from Kajuru and a lot of people have been killed. But then this one was quite strange that an Emir could be kidnapped. I think the message of the bandits is quite clear now that no one is actually safe. Anybody can now be a victim of kidnapping that place. So the people were quite worried. A lot of them, it brought a lot of them to their knees. They gathered together, they prayed, Christians and Muslims together, praying against these activities that is almost overwhelming security agencies. I can tell you that the people were actually disturbed and very, very shocked that the Emir was abducted.
Well, with the kidnap and release of the Emir, what have you noticed as regards the issue of security in that area? Any improvement, any development about that?
Well, the police said a joint team that's talking the police and the Nigerian army. They actually said they were going to comb the forest. That is some of the villages surrounding that place to make sure they try to fish out these bandits or better secure the place. But as at the time we went there, security was not yet beefed up. I must say that security was not yet beefed up, but they said they were actually going to beef up security in that area and they were going to comb the environment. If that is done by now, we don't know actually, but that was what they said. But of course, some of the community members are now thinking, oh, should they now gather together to defend themselves? That's something they're thinking about. But I must tell you that the residents of Kajuru are worried. And even residents in Kaduna, because kidnapping is now a daily activity. There is news daily that people are being kidnapped. So people are actually worried and they're calling on the government to just beef up security in the state.
All right, Lupe, thank you very much for that update. We'll definitely get back to you once there is update from Kajuru and in the entire Kaduna State. Thank you for joining us again, Lupe.
Thank you very much.